Hello everybody, maybe we should zoom in a bit closer. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone's doing well. This is my channel and my name is Cameron. Today's video I'm going to do like a Q&A kind of situation, like a chit chat. I put out like a questionnaire thing on my Instagram and some people asked me some questions, so here we are answering those questions. If you have never watched one of my videos before, this is my channel and this is me. My name is Cameron. I make like lifestyle videos, I make vlogs, just living my life, do you know what I mean? So if you are usually into like lifestyle videos or vlogs and that kind of thing, check out my channel and see if there's anything you like, and if there is, go ahead and subscribe. These questions are really good. I'm very excited to answer these questions. So let's just get straight into it. That's a very easy question to answer. I'm 23 years old. To be honest, when people ask me how old I am, I always go to say like 21 or 22 because I feel like COVID just warped time. I think that everyone had that experience through COVID. Like those 2 years did not happen. So I'm 23, but mentally I'm 21. Also, if you can hear birds in the background, we're in nature, so nature sounds. Enjoy. What did I study? I studied architecture. I did a Bachelor of Architecture at uni. I started in 2018 and I finished at the end of 2020. So I like crammed my subjects at the end so I could finish earlier, which in hindsight, I'm glad I did it because I got it over and done with, but it was a very stressful last semester, so I wouldn't recommend cramming your subjects. But yeah, that's what I studied, and now I work in architecture. That's what I do full-time basically. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it at the moment, and I'm really happy that I did study architecture because I feel like I really enjoy design and like all different aspects of design. I feel like architecture is such a good umbrella for design. There's so many different things that sort of plug into that, like graphic design, interior design, even like fashion design and all these other aspects of design. They're sort of all very, very intertwined, and I feel like it's more like a way of thinking rather than a specific skill set. Like you can learn the skills along the way, but as long as you have the the way of thinking, I don't know, it's like a way of thought, like the design process. I feel like all designers would be able to agree with that. Like there's definitely like a way of thought which can be applied to like all different aspects of design. So yeah, I studied architecture, long story so short, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I did go through like a low period with architecture and I was like very uninspired, and I was like, is this really what I want to do? And then I got another job and I'm really enjoying this job so far. So I would say that I'm thoroughly enjoying working in architecture, and I did also enjoy my degree, although it was very, very hard and stressful and I was crying at times. It was a lot, but we got through it. I still have to do my master's to be like a proper architect, so one day we will get around to doing that. My tattoo is the creation of Adam with a flower through it. So random, I know. I drew this when I was probably like 17, I would say, and I was like, oh my god, I really want to get that tattooed. And I'd hold the drawing up and be like, oh, I reckon it looks so good. And then I just did it. It was such a YOLO moment. I was in Prague overseas, and I think a couple of my friends got tattoos as well. And I was like, oh, I might as well just do it. Like I have it designed here. And then I just got it. And I was like, I feel like I didn't really think it through properly. And at the end I was like, do I like it? Do I not? Do I like it? Do I not? But I feel like I've grown into it a lot, and it's just like obviously a part of me now. And yeah, that's it. And I actually really like it now. And I also like that I drew it myself because I feel like it has more of like a connection to me. But yeah, that's my tattoo. I like it when I hold my arm out like this. I feel like it's nice like size and like positioning. Yeah, that's my tattoo. The creation of Adam with a flower in between. Yeah. I do want to get another tattoo. I want to get a tattoo like here of this sun that I've seen, and I really like it. So yeah, I want to get that. Oh, the sun is coming out. Yes, the sun's coming out. How nice. Beautiful. Someone said, you have a very earthy aesthetic. How did you come into it? Where did you start? That's a very interesting question, and I like this question a lot. I agree. I would say I have an earthy aesthetic. I'm wearing, brown pants now. My hair is red, orange, I don't know. And my room, everything is like, I'm very obsessed with like earthy tones. I agree with that. I can definitely see that in myself. How did I come into it? Where did I start? I would say that those colors, they genuinely just make me feel so warm and like embraced. I don't know how to explain it in another way, but like browns and oranges and like earthy tones, I just love it so much. It just makes me feel so like, I feel very at peace and calm with those tones around me. And I feel like I've been that way for a very long time. When I was in high school, I was obsessed with burgundy, like that reddy brown kind of color. And I remember I had like my backpack was burgundy, and I had heaps of burgundy clothes, and I just was very obsessed with that colour. I feel like I just gravitate towards those colours as well. Like if I'm shopping for clothes or looking at furniture and things, my eye is just immediately drawn to things that are warm in colour and have those sort of tones. It wasn't something that I consciously was like, oh, I'm going to have this aesthetic of like earthy tones. Everything's going to be brown and rust and orange, and that's going to be the way I'm going to like present myself. Like it wasn't something that I just switched on and thought. It was just something that I kind of grew into. I don't know how to describe it in another way. But if you wanted to like start having that kind of aesthetic, I guess, I would say that you have to like that to start with. It can't just be like, oh, I that looks nice, so I want to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like it has to be something within you that makes you want to do that. So yeah, I hope that answers that question to some degree. What inspired me to start a YouTube channel? This is a good question. I really like this question. You know when you have those questions that you think about in your head quite often? Like I always picture myself if I was on like a podcast or if I had like an interview, the questions I'd get asked, the questions I would get asked and what I would answer. And that's like one of the questions that I always think to myself in my head about. I don't know if anyone else does that, but that's a regular occurrence. I think maybe because I listen to a lot of podcasts, I like picture myself in my head, my thoughts on a podcast. I don't know why. Anyway, besides the point, what inspired me to start a YouTube channel? Ever since I was younger, when I was in high school, I remember I would love, whenever I do stuff with my friends, I would love to like video things and then make like a, I guess like a vlog, but I didn't know what it was called there. I would call it just like a clip, like montage kind of thing of my day. And I'd edit them on, what's that app called? Windows Media, it wasn't iMovie, it was like the Windows version of iMovie. I don't remember. Anyway, I'd edit them on that software and I'd think they were so good and I'd add like all these like effects to it and I thought it was so fun. And I feel like I kind of lost touch with that side of myself as I grew up. And then I think in lockdown, I started filming stuff on my phone and I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a vlog, like I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. I didn't even think I said I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, but I was like, I wanna make vlogs. And then I was just recording stuff on my phone using like those filters on Instagram, like the film aesthetic ones. And then I don't think I ever ended up doing anything with those because I found the footage the other day and I was like, oh wow, I remember when I was going to do that. But yeah, I started filming stuff on my phone and I really wanted to create a vlog with it, but I never got around to it. And I did that a few times, like a few different days and stuff. I'd like vlog my day on my phone and then I'd never get around to like actually editing the footage because I didn't fully commit myself to making a channel or starting making vlogs. I was just like, yeah, I want to do it, but my whole heart wasn't in it. But I feel like doing that sort of like sparked the joy that I had when I was younger, when I was a kid or a teenager. And then it sort of reminded me how much I enjoyed it and how it made me happy. And and then when I filmed all those clips on my phone, I guess I felt there was some sort of stigma around like having a YouTube channel or being an influencer or whatever. Like I thought people would think some kind of way about me, which I eventually got over because I was like, why do I care if I want to do this and it makes me happy? Like I shouldn't care about what like people outside of myself are thinking, because also those thoughts aren't even valid. Like they're just thoughts in my head. I don't even know if people are saying that and it doesn't matter if they are. But do you know what I mean? When you have those negative thoughts in your head and it's like there's no grounds for those thoughts, like they are just in your head and it's not actually something that's out there. Do you know what I mean? It's all speculation is the word. So I eventually got through that barrier of thinking that people were going to think of me some way, and I was just like, let me just do it because I really enjoy it. And yeah, now I'm doing it and I genuinely enjoy it and I just want to keep growing and keep making videos. And yeah, so someone's asked a very hard question. Someone said top favorite most joyful life memories so far. That is a fucking hard question. Top favorite most joyful life memories so far. Wow. I can think of so many things that have been amazing memories in my life so far. Things that stick out, especially for me. I did a trip after I finished high school overseas with my boyfriend at the time, my ex, and also we met up with friends around Europe and we went overseas for 5 months, and that was an amazing experience. And so I was 18 at the time. And yeah, that definitely is one of my top memories. And there's so many memories that came from those 5 months. And it was just honestly such an amazing time. We went to probably I think there was 12 or 13 different countries. I think 13 countries we went to and different cities in those countries. I kept a really in-depth travel journal, which is something that I'm so grateful that I did, because looking back on that and looking back at those memories in the photos and like what I wrote down is like something that's like invaluable to me, and I'll always be so thankful to be able to go on that trip. I worked my ass off working 2 part-time jobs for I think it was about 5 months after I graduated, And then I think I saved about $12,000 or $13,000 in the end, which paid for my whole trip. And I got back with like $1, but I was so happy. That sounded so cliche, but it's so true. I literally got back with $1. I remember I was in the shops and I wanted to get a snack, but I didn't have enough money to buy like actual food. So I was in the shops just trying to buy like fruit and veg, and a banana was like $2. And I was like, what the fuck? Why is this banana so expensive? I literally remember that so clearly. Someone said, how has having your own space helped your mental? So how has having my own space helped my mental state, I guess? Immensely, so immensely. I would say I'm quite an introverted person, and I very much need my own space to be level-headed and calm and think. So having my own space is like so important for me, like one of the most important things for me. I live at home with my family at the moment, but I'm so grateful to have my own bedroom space and bathroom that I've created to be my own space. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm living in someone else's space. It's very much like my own. And yeah, that's something that I've always done. When I lived in Sydney, in the city, when I did uni, over those almost 3 years, I lived in 5 different places. And in each place, I made it like a point for me to like create my own space. Just having that space to come back to at the end of the day at uni or anywhere, just to come back and like recharge was so important for me. So it's definitely helped my mental state a lot. Yeah, I would definitely recommend if you're an introverted person or you like spending time in your own space, I would definitely say create that to be a reflection of like what brings you peace. Someone said, also, what do you take your photos with? Because they are amazing. Thank you, that's so nice. Thank you for the compliment, that's so kind. I have a iPhone, what is this, 12 Pro, I think. Yeah, 12 Pro, 11 Pro, 12 Pro. I don't know, the one with the 3 camera thing. It depends. Let me look at my Instagram at the moment. That first photo, the black and white selfie, I just took on my phone. But yeah, that photo was a selfie that I took in like the banana trees here. I would say with taking selfies, just make sure you get the right light. Like, lighting is so important when you try and take photos. Even if you have like a lamp, like putting the lamp in behind your phone and then having the phone there, if that makes sense, and then the light's going to be reflecting onto your face. Or in sunlight, having the sunlight like coming at you, like just knowing where to position yourself in the light to take photos is a huge help. So I take photos with my phone sometimes, or sometimes I take photos with I have like a big Canon 60 DSLR, which I've had for ages. I've actually bought it when I went on that trip to Europe because I really wanted to take good photos. And I used to be like a lot more into photography, and I would take heaps of photos with it. I don't use it as much anymore, but I sometimes use it to take photos. So let's see a photo. So like that photo of that sunset I took on that camera, on the big camera. But I would say most of my photos are taken on an iPhone. Occasionally there's photos which are taken on a film camera. I have the Olympus OM2. I got that only recently. But yeah, most of my photos are taken on an iPhone, with the exception of sometimes them being taken on my DSLR. And then I take a lot of my reels on my vlogging camera, which I'm using right now, which is a Canon G7X. If you're looking to get like a camera that's more than an iPhone, definitely look on like Facebook Marketplace and things. I got this vlogging camera that I'm talking to you now on Marketplace for like $300, I want to say. It's the G7X Mark II. I'm pretty sure it was $300, which is like not too bad compared to what they retail for. I think they're like $500 at the shops. Yeah, I would say with iPhone photos, just lighting is super important. Like taking photos in the sun is going to make your photos look heaps better quality, and also just make you look more like glowy. Also, let me know if you want me to do like a more in-depth video on how I like take and edit my own photos. Maybe I will do that. I feel like that would be quite helpful. Just like in terms of how I set up my photos and how I would take them, like what apps I use for like timers and how I edit them. I don't usually edit them too much. I will use like an app called Snapseed sometimes and just adjust like the brightness and the warmth and the contrast and things slightly. But I don't like to edit them too much. Sometimes I'll add a bit of grain to them if I want it to look a bit more like film-like. But yeah, that's about it with my photos. And I'm so happy that you like my photos as well. Thank you so much for that compliment. Why do you live so far away? I do live quite far from Sydney now. I live about 800 kilometres away from Sydney, which is annoying and good at the same time. Sometimes I do miss the city in terms of like meeting people and like going out and like doing more like social out there stuff. Whereas here where I live right now is really, really nice for like peace and quiet. I feel like I'm very much in like a solitude sort of phase of my life at the moment, and I'm just trying to embrace it as much as I can. And I know that everything else will come in the future. Like sometimes I find myself being like a bit, not lonely, but just wanting more vibrance, I guess, in my life in terms of like social activities and like going out and meeting people, etc. But I'm like, that will come, that time will come. But right now I'm just trying to embrace this peace that I have now because it's so beautiful. What's the hardest lesson you've had to teach yourself? That is a freaking hard question. I did see this question before and I was like, I need to think about this because otherwise I'm going to be stuck. So I have thought of an answer. I think that the hardest thing I've had to teach myself is patience, honestly. Patience. I would say that I have tendencies to be kind of like an impatient person, but I'm trying to be better, and I feel like I have gotten a lot better even just this year. Just trusting the process and trusting that things will come to you and not feeling pressed to like get things done and like be on top of everything, and just sort of moving with ease, I would say, not moving with like pressure. Does that make sense? And it's definitely something that I'm still learning and still teaching myself and still trying to improve on in my life. But it is really hard when you want something, or you have a vision for something, or you have a vision for your life, or you know how you want something to go, and if it's not going that way as fast as you would want it to, or at the same pace as you want it to, or at the same pace you think it should be. I feel like in times like that, I just have to remind myself that everything is going to come when the time is right. Like maybe what I want right now is not actually what I need right now. I feel like it's just believing that whatever you want will come, and you might not be ready for that yet. Even if you think you are, like maybe you'll get that thing now and you just won't be ready or fully equipped to deal with it. So I feel like I'm just trying to remind myself that everything I'm going through is like leading me somewhere. Honestly, trusting the process. I know that's such an overused saying, but it's very, very true, and something I'm trying to teach myself more of. And it is a very hard lesson that I've had to teach myself. Someone said, how is being back in the Northern Rivers? The Northern Rivers is where I live, the area where I live. And it is, as I was saying before, I feel like I'm in a very solitude phase of my life. It's good. I would say overall it's good. And I feel like this sort of ties into the last question. I'm trying to be more patient with my life right now. I'm trying to be more at ease, at peace, calm, grounded, all of that stuff. So I'm really enjoying being back here. I do get kind of like bored sometimes, I'm not going to lie. In terms of, like I said before, I want to like be out there more, like doing things. Even though I am an introverted person, like I still really enjoy connecting with people, meeting new people, especially because I'm so young. I'm like, I have so much to see and so much to do and experience and people to meet and like connections to make. And I know that I can do that here, but I also feel like this sort of scene in the Northern Rivers where I live is very, very small and very homogenous. Like everything is very much the same. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm enjoying my peace and quiet and my time to myself. Whatever my next phase of life is, I feel like I'll be a lot more ready for that. This is like, I feel like a chrysalis. Like I'm in my cocoon at the moment and I'm going to come out as a big butterfly soon and spread my wings and fly. So I'm really enjoying being back in the Northern Rivers. Thank you for asking. Where do you feel most creative and what inspires you? That's such a nice question. Where do I feel most creative and what inspires me? I feel like I can get creativity from like two completely different sources. I can get heaps of creativity from like literally just sitting in the garden by myself and just like looking and thinking. I feel like we can take so much inspiration from nature. Like every time I look around, when I contrast like nature and like the urban environment or like the city or something, or just man-made world, you can see so much that's like a replica of nature. Like everything is already created. We sort of like, a lot of the stuff that humans do like mimics nature. So I feel like a lot of inspiration can come from the world around us. And I do find a lot of inspiration when I'm looking at nature. But that's more in terms of like, if I'm thinking of creativity in terms of like painting and like visual arts sort of creativity. In terms of other creativity, like architecture or design or even like YouTube videos, like stuff like that, where I find my inspiration for those things, more sort of with people and watching people interact, talking to people, like like-minded people, seeing what other people have created, going to museums, etc., etc. I feel like that's also super inspiring as well. I feel like this answer would change through different periods of my life, but right now I feel most creative when I'm alone in nature, I would say. I come up with a lot of ideas at the moment when I'm alone in nature, like literally just sitting, not on my phone, just looking and thinking. I also think that we as humans now, we spend so much time occupied, like we don't have much time that's just empty, if that makes sense. When we go to the toilet, we take our phones with us. When we are on the train or on the bus or on public transport, we're looking at our phones. I feel like it's very rare that people are sitting with their own thoughts, and I recognize that in myself, and I'll say, okay, I'm gonna like make it a point to like have these little moments, like these pockets of time where I don't have my phone and it's just me and my thoughts and like a journal or a book or something. And it does help me sort of like come up with new ideas and be creative so much more than, because if you're in your phone, you're constantly trapped in this world in your phone, which is, it can be inspiring, like you can see a lot of inspiring stuff on your phone, but it's a different sort of inspiration, I think. And it's also inspiration that is coming from another source, do you know what I mean? It's not coming from your own head. It's very rare that you get like a brainwave whilst you're on your phone, I feel. I always have like my brainwaves like, oh, that's a good idea, whilst I'm like empty in the head, whilst I'm just thinking and thinking and thinking. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. And the last question that someone asked is, what's my routine and is there anything you'd like to improve on? Of course, there's always things to improve on. We're never fully there. I'm reading this book at the moment and he was talking about how humans are always like in the middle plane, like there's always something above us and below us. He was talking about something else, but I'm sort of applying it to this. And we're always aspiring for something else and we're always a step above something else. Does that make sense? Like you're always thinking, oh, I can improve on something and I'm going to get there and I'm going to be happy, or that's going to be like complete. But like once you get there, there's always something above you, so you're always sort of like trying to level up. So there's always going to be things to improve on. And I think that if anyone says that there's nothing they want to improve on, they're lying, or they just can't see that. So what's my routine? I've made videos on like my morning routines and my evening routines and things, which I'll put up here in cards. I would say that it has sort of changed. Maybe I'll do like an updated morning routine. Routine is also very, very important to me. I feel like it's those little things that we carry through us day to day that sort of anchor us in each day and remind us to be present. They fill my days with a lot of joy. So like in the morning, something that I will always try and do no matter where I am, what I'm doing, I always want to have like a drink, like a coffee or a tea or something, and enjoy that, not on my phone, just like sitting there. Maybe I'm reading, maybe I'm journaling, maybe I'm just staring, but just enjoying a drink in the morning is something that I will always do no matter where I am. Whether that's like something you make at home, something you get takeaway, I love that. And then also, I try and journal each day. I don't pressure myself to journal each day, but I try and journal each day. That's also a big part of my routine. I feel like having that tool of reflection really helps me grow mentally as a person. Having a relaxing shower routine is also very, very important to me. And lately I've been trying to read more, but I don't do that every day, I would say, but I'm trying to be better and I am really enjoying it. So I'd recommend it. I only read like 5 or 10 pages, 15 pages every day. I'm not a super fast reader, but I'm enjoying that addition to my daily routine. So yeah, I hope that answers those questions well. I hope you've enjoyed this chatty kind of video, which is a bit different to what I usually do, but maybe you've got to know me a bit better. My camera ran out of battery, so here we are on my phone. But as I was saying, I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope you've taken something from it and I hope that you've had a good time watching it. And I will see you in the next video. If you choose to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.